Welcome to the Guilty Knitter. I am your host, Vivian Lee, and I am coming to you from very sunny Montreal, Quebec, Canada, and where we're hunkering down for the next 2 to 3 weeks, or however long it takes, with most of the rest of the world dealing with the COVID-19 virus. So, as much as we're all trying our best to, avoid contamination, spreading the virus, we all have to, we have to like self-isolate and social distance and all this. Very hard to do. We're such social animals, and it's surprisingly difficult to know that you can't meet up with your friends the way you normally do, or even if you do, then it has to be, kind of like 1 or 2 people maybe. And even then you feel kind of like, this is a bad thing to do. Anyway, I don't know. Are you feeling as anxious as I am? I'm finding this really stressful, and it's actually kind of lonely. And luckily, I'm lucky because I have my husband, and so I'm not alone. But being sort of distanced from my circle of friends and my knitting buddies is really hard. But anyway, that's one reason why I thought I should do a podcast today. I've been given all this free time, as a lot of us have, thrown at us, really unwanted. But hey, who doesn't love a bit of extra free time? At least I usually don't. But and I think it would be great to use it as a way to be really productive and creative, and it's like a gift, really. So it should be a good thing. But somehow, because I'm so sort of anxious and I feel just distracted all the time, I'm always constantly checking, the progress of the virus. And I'm living in Canada, where things are generally kind of more or less seem to be on the right track. I mean, right at this moment, as I speak, we have about 377 cases, which is a lot less than some places, but I have to remember that our population is quite a bit smaller than some of these countries, even though we're such a big country. So anyway, it's really hard to gauge how bad it is, but I think that the government is doing the right thing in sort of deciding that we all should be staying as far away from each other as we can. And that means a lot of us are staying home from work. And I'm in the arts, so a lot of the artistic organizations, I'd say most of them in Montreal, are basically shut down, and it's really tough, especially for those who are freelance artists. Things are being canceled left, right, and center, and for a small example, Knit City Montreal is being canceled, and that is a huge blow to some of the small dyers and makers that were hoping to vend their wares at the marketplace at Knit City. So, yeah, that's one little example. But my orchestra, everything is canceled until April 5th, and I don't know whether they'll restart at that point or not. It totally depends on how things go, I guess. So it's all very kind of scary. So what I thought is, in order to sort of get over this feeling of anxiety and distraction and feeling at loose ends, I guess, I thought I would write a list of all the chores and projects that I've been avoiding for a long time, and I would pick from that list every day so that I feel like I was accomplishing something, but it wouldn't be super overwhelming for me. I hope the light is not too, I know it's pretty bright, but yeah, it's a very, very bright day today, and it's one good thing is when it's bright like this, you kind of feel less depressed in general. Because 2 days from now it's supposed to rain like crazy, so that's going to be unpleasant for sure. But anyway, as I was saying, I have this list that I'm picking from every day. Hopefully, this is my first day of trying this. And today I picked record an episode of The Guilty Knitter, and I'm calling it Rescue Remedy, so that, because I think that I'm not the only podcaster out there, I'm sure, who feels like that's one thing we can do is keep new content out there for those of us who are stuck at home. And you might want to watch something. And so I'm basically going to go through my FOs and my WIPs, finished objects and works in progress, for those who may not know what those terms mean. And I really hope that if you like this episode, you'll press like and then subscribe to my channel so that you can, get notifications. There's a little bell if you're, I think it's, at least for iPads, there's a little bell that you can press, and yeah, I don't know. Anyway, there's some way to get notifications by email if you want to get them. So yeah, so please do that. And if you want to find me on Instagram, I am at Guilty Knitter, and on Ravelry I'm The Guilty Knitter, all one word. So, and over there I have a page for my podcast that, I've got an introduce yourself thread, so feel free to take advantage of that. There's not a lot going on right over there right now. I've done a couple of knit-alongs, but we're not in the middle of a knit-along right now, so there's nothing much going on, but you can always say hi, which would be lovely, and definitely post a comment below if you feel like it, and anything you want to know about in more detail. I have most of my notes are pretty much up to date on my project page for anything that's over there that I've made and that I may talk about today. I'm wearing my sweet little cowl, which I don't really need so much, but I think it looks kind of nice with my green sweater, which is very springy. And since spring is like a week away, I thought it'd be fun to wear it. It's this is the what is the name of this sweater? I'll write it down below here because I can't remember. It's been a while since I knitted this sweater, but it is in Tanis Fiber Arts. The green is Tanis Fiber Arts, and the sort of sprinkly color with confetti is Artful, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And I thought it looked kind of fun together. And this was a cowl knit for me by my friend Linda, whom you've heard me talk about practically every episode. She's given me some beautiful gifts over the years, and this is one of them. Because of course she's a big knitter as well, as you know. So, yeah, I just thought it would be fun to add one more episode to your list of things to watch while you're at home, knitting away and whiling away the time. Yeah, so today I'll be talking about my mini whips. I don't know what's going on, but I just keep on casting things on. I can't help myself. I get really bored of what I'm doing and I want to knit something else. It's crazy. I have one finished object to show you. That's the problem with keeping on casting things on, is you don't finish what you've already done. So, in case you're wondering, this is my what's it called? This is a Stephen West pattern. Oh my gosh, what's it called? Something. Anyway, you know what it is. It's a very famous pattern of his, and it's been a while since I knit it. Again, if I think of it, I'll mention it, but otherwise it'll be up on the program notes below there. Okay, so my memory isn't doing all that well, so let's hope I don't keep forgetting everything. But so I shall start with my 1FO, which is the Clovis hat, see, when I'm in the middle of knitting a bunch of sweaters and shawls, I feel the need for a little palette cleanser, so I knit a hat or something. So this is the Clovis hat by Camille Descoteaux, and she is a knitwear designer from Montreal, I believe, or from Quebec anyway. It has a texture pattern here on the mini body, and then the brim is a doubled over affair, so it's very nice and warm. And yeah, and I knitted a little bit shorter than the pattern asked for, because I don't really like hats that sort of stick up too much, and that's one thing about this hat, is that it's a bit not floppy. It's not supposed to be floppy, but it's supposed to be higher, I guess. And I don't know, I didn't care for that idea, so I just did it a little shorter. And it has this very nice decrease up here. I think that's pretty sweet. So yeah, I like that. I did that in the Malabrigo Rios, which is a worsted weight, I think. I think it's a worsted weight yarn, which I very much like, and I bought that in Buenos Aires. So that is a very fun little knit. Okay, what else have I got? Oh yeah, whips. All right, I'll show you my Garden Gate sweater, because I have made some progress on it. Maybe I'll take this off for now because it's a little hot. I have made some progress. Yay. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. I've got about, I don't know, let's say 5 inches there below the armpit. And I'm just going straight down, no shaping. And I had to, I think I told you this maybe on my last episode, that I had to undo, I had split for the sleeves, and then I had to go back and redo it because I had split in the wrong place, which was not brilliant. But what I had thought about doing, since I'm getting, as usual, I get very bored with the body of a sweater when it's just plain knit, knit, knit. So I'm almost finished this current ball of yarn, and when I finish it, I'm gonna start on the sleeves. That gives me just a little change, you know, just even though it's the same old knit, 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 at least at the bottom of the sleeves there's a bit of color work. So I'm just looking forward to that. That'll be fun. You know, okay, so that's the Garden Gate sweater, and it's by Jennifer Steingass. And I did it in the Tinde yarn, which is a Norwegian yarn. It's got a real, I mean, it's definitely pretty, yeah, I guess that's a bit better. I like this room because it's the sunniest room, but then it's a bit too sunny at certain times of the day. I should really maybe think about doing it at a different time of the day, but anyway. Okay, so the thing with this yarn is it's a little scratchy, but I mean, it's not that bad. And since I'm not going to be knitting, I'm not going to be wearing this next to my skin, I'm not worried about it, but yeah, I am making a hat out of some of the yarn that I used for the black yarn there, that I used for the contrast. I'm making a hat out of the rest of it, and I just realized that I need it for the color work, so I can't be using this up, but I think I'll have enough, hopefully. But I have some other black I can use, I think, if all else fails. So yeah, so I'm making this hat, which is a bit similar to the Clovis, but it's called the Lenny. I think it's called Lenny. Let's see. Yes, Lenny hat by Isabel Kramer. At one point, I'm not sure if it's still free, but at one point she was giving it away for free. It's kind of a really nice little decorative motif there, which involves slipping a bunch of stitches and then knitting them a certain way, and then there's baubles here. It almost looks like those are little Christmas trees with something on the top of them. I don't know if you can see that. It's a bit hard to tell. The thing is that this is a black yarn that I'm double stranding with a green. This is Shibui Silk Cloud in their Cove colorway. I believe it's Cove. I have like 3 different colorways floating around that are all green for some reason. I don't like, one of them is more of a grayish green, but yeah, I have 3 of them, so I get them confused, but I think this is Cove. Picked up this lovely little cup, or you know, tea, whatever, mug in Mexico when we were there. We got a couple of them. David fell in love, my husband fell in love with these, so yeah, I'm knitting this away, and I used the same brim method that the Clovis requires, but I'm actually thinking I should have done it the way Isabel Kramer suggests, which is with a provisional cast on. But I thought this would be easier, but actually I kind of messed it up this time. I think I did an okay job on it on the Clovis, but probably because of the dark yarn I couldn't see what I was doing quite as well, and I ended up kind of messing up. So it's not totally lined up. If you can, maybe you can see that, I don't know. So the bottom is a bit slanty. Anyway, I don't think it matters that much. It's a hat for my husband, and he's gonna lose it within a day and a half anyway. He's the worst. But I just wanted to use up some of this yarn. I wanted to make this hat because it looked like fun. And it is fun. And I'm almost done, so it's really not, I'm almost done. You know what I mean? Basically all I have to do is a little bit more of the body, and then I'm doing the crown, and I'm done. And then David will be able to wear it for maybe another day or 2 before it gets too hot. So hopefully he'll still have it in the fall when it gets cold again. We hope. We hope. So that's what I'm doing. And it's lovely and soft because of the mohair and the merino together. So I would recommend that as a fun little project. It's fun to do a hat that's when you're double stranding with mohair, because it's fun to do hats double stranded with mohair because they make them extra warm and also extra soft. That's how I made the Kobuk hat by here we go, Caitlin Hunter. Sorry. Okay, Caitlin Hunter. I'm gonna cut that part out. Yes, I did the Kobuk hat by Caitlin Hunter, and that was double-stranded also, but I guess I've lost it, and that was really my favorite hat, which kind of is one reason why I decided to knit another one, because I really liked it. And I figured that if Dave doesn't wear this hat, then I will certainly wear it, because it fits me just right. Right on. I can't even see what I look like, really, because my glasses, I don't have my glasses on. Let me see. Yeah, not so bad. Almost looks like I'm finished. Anyway, it's a really fun little hat, and I recommend it. And it's a free pattern, I think. It used to be, anyway, a free pattern. Yeah, so I didn't end up... What I was thinking all along when I realized I lost my Kobuk hat was that I would knit another one, and I still might, but I ended up doing a new pattern instead. A different pattern which also has baubles and texture and whatnot, so it's not too different from the Kobuk hat. What else have I got for you? Oh yeah, I started a shawl, which I may have talked to you about in my last episode, but it's been so long since I made an episode. I'm not sure if I talked to you about this. I may have talked to you when I had very little on the needles, but anyway, I've made some progress. And here it is. This is the wrong, you're looking at the wrong side. This is the right side. And I quite like it. This is knit in, it's the Big Spite shawl by Vera Velamaki. This is the wrong side. And I really think that both sides look equally quite pretty. The pink is a hedgehog fibers in their skinny singles, and it's which is merino, plain merino, I believe, single ply, and it's the plump colorway. It's very pretty. It's like a raspberry. It's, I mean, you know, it's like basically identical to, or it's very similar to my sweater and to many other things that I tend to gravitate towards. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. It's garter stripes so far, striped and then we call it brioche stitch here, stripes. And then after that, there'll be short rows. So I'm looking forward to that. I can show you the pattern, which I've already shown you a couple of times, but what the heck. I will show it to you again. And where, yeah. Here it is. Very pretty, right? Now, I really thought I was starting at, I must be starting at this end, but actually I'm starting at this end. And I don't know what I thought, but the thing is, because Vera started with two very, well, one neutral color plus the coral striped, it almost looks like it's one color. So I didn't realize that it wasn't, and so this is going to be a completely different look. It's going to be quite a lot busier. And then when I get to this part, these big short rows here, can't seem to zero in on them. This will be the dark blue, and that'll be the pink, I think. And then at the end, which is over here, near here, I'll be doing the dark blue and the gray, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And then there's a little bit of that pink left over at the end, which I think yeah, we'll be striping with the blue. Oh, which I didn't show you. So these are back. Yeah, so these are the three colors that I'm using, and I really like them all. I'm really happy with them. So we'll see how it turns out. I really like it, and I haven't really worked on it much lately, but it is a fun knit. I did make a mistake. I made a mistake in like the first section of brioche, and I had to frog it a bit. But yeah, because if you make a mistake in brioche, and sometimes they're possible to fix, but it's easy to make it worse, let's put it that way, which is what happened to me. So I ended up having to like basically take out that whole section of brioche because I wasn't going to be able to fix it. And I mean, you can always go to your local yarn shop and get some help, but the funny thing is not everybody at a local yarn shop is all that familiar with brioche. I mean, now I would think most people are, but when I first was doing brioche, which wasn't even that long ago, I remember going to the store and they were like, oh, so-and-so's not here and she's the one to ask about brioche. And I was like, really? So, you know, you're better off just checking YouTube for help sometimes, because sometimes you can figure it out, and it's good. It's good for you to be able to figure out your mistakes. But anyway, that particular time, I didn't even go to YouTube for the help, so it didn't work out very well, sadly. Drinking some Darjeeling tea today, which was a gift from my son for Christmas. It's quite nice. Talking about my son, Travis, I'm making some strides on his men's best vest. Now, it's all like, it looks kind of like it's finished, but I still have to put in the ribbing around the neck. I have to steek it and put buttons and put button band. And also, of course, do the ribbing around the armhole. I already finished the pockets, so that I won't have to do at the end. I'm happy about that. The other thing is I'm not 100% sure it's going to be long enough. I'm afraid it's going to be a little short. So the next time I see him, obviously I'll get him to try it on, but the way things are going, I don't know when that'll be. So I asked him to get his girlfriend to, well, his fiance actually, they're getting married. I asked him to ask Allison to measure his back to just reassure me that I had the right measurement, and I have a feeling she's going to come back with a longer measurement, and I'm going to have to undo the top where I've already sewn it together and redo it and like add an inch or something, because it just doesn't seem very long to me. I mean, he's a pretty tall guy, and I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. But I did go by the measurements that he gave me, so I'm hoping it's okay. We shall see. And this is called Men's Best Vest, but I'm doing a whole lot of different things. Like I changed the cable, and I put in an astique instead of knitting it in pieces, and that's it really, I guess. But so basically I just needed it for the directions on how to do the decreases and stuff. Decreases? Yeah, decreases, because I would do this bottom up. Yeah, so I'm happy with it. It's beautiful yarn. This is that Scout by Kilborn Yarns that I really, really like. It's just beautiful stitch definition, and it's nice cozy wool, and I hope he'll like it. Again, it won't be ready in time for this year probably. I mean, by the time he gets it, it'll be too warm to wear probably, but maybe he'll get a chance to wear it once or twice before he puts it away for the summer. You never know. Okay, let's see now. Oh, I have to tell you, a couple weeks ago, my friends Nyla and Linda and I went to Nyla's cottage for a little knitting retreat, just the three of us, and it was so fun. It was beautiful. So I wonder if I could maybe I'll insert a few pictures right here of that weekend, because we just had such a lovely time. Mostly it'll be outside pictures. It was such gorgeous weather. It was sort of cold, but not super cold, and sunny and snowy, and we were right on this beautiful lake and cozy little cottage with a fireplace, or at least a stove. Anyway, it was idyllic, really. It was just so much fun. And so thank you to Nyla if you're watching, and Linda too, because we really had fun. Anyway, so yeah, so I'll somewhere in this little thin part I will insert some pictures so you can see what it was like. My intention was for us to record a podcast then, and get those guys to be my co-hosts, but Linda was absolutely no, she wouldn't do it for sure, and Nyla was kind of on the fence, but she did agree to doing it, but finally it just got sort of like we were tired, and I didn't really end up having time to do it, or the energy, I guess. So we didn't do it, but I'm hoping that one day Nyla and I will do an episode together, because you'll really like her. She's lots of fun. Anyway, so my last thing to show you, I think, is my recent sock, which I finished finally. Isn't that kind of crazy and fun? I don't know what, maybe I've already shown you this. I don't remember. It's been so long. I shouldn't really check these things, but I think it's fun, you know. I really like the colors. This part, I feel like the sock might have been more like just better if it had just been a normal, you know, just the pink with this and this was probably enough. But in terms of how much fun it was to knit, this helped a lot. Just this little bit of color work. which is a technique called Colors That Climb, and Laura Lee Beltman showed us how to do that on Knit Stars 3, I believe. And it's really fun. But so I mean, it's not like I wouldn't do it again, but because for me, a lot of it is the process. I want to enjoy the process, you know. And I'll definitely wear these. That's not a problem. They're so fun. Look at the color, eh? I just hope they don't. It's a lot like this. I seem to have a theme going here with pink, for sure. Anyways, I'm started the second one, and I hope to get that done sometime this year. Let's say. I don't know. I have no ambition when it comes to sock knitting. So what do? I just went out and bought more sock yarn, of course, because why not? So I bought these two colors, gray and black, two grays. One is dark, one is lighter, plus this contrast color. And I'm going to make some socks with that. And I was thinking of doing these socks called Longing Forgotten, I think it is. I happened to see those on Instagram, and they are a super fun sock. But the only thing is that, yeah, I figure I think I'm gonna just wing it. Like, they're a striped sock with some color work at the top, and I think I'm just gonna use that as a sort of jumping off point. So I'll definitely do stripes, but then I thought, well, maybe I'll put a little stripe in the middle somewhere along towards the top, and then do another little red thing around the top and some other color work. I'll figure it out. But I think I'm just gonna wing it. That's what I like about socks is to use my own creativity to make them fun and nice, you know. Because once you have a technique for the heel, the toe, and the cuff that you enjoy, or you can also just branch out and try different things. I mean, all a sock is mix and match all these techniques and make a sock. It's not really. I don't see the point of pattern really at this point. I know that sounds kind of. Does that sound egotistic or something? Anyway, I don't know. Yeah. That was they are beautiful socks, the ones that I was telling you about, but I just think it would be more fun for me to do something out of my head and figure something else out, using that as an idea, I suppose, which is not really very fair, but I won't be copying it, that's for sure. Anyway, striped socks are not exactly something that is copyright, so I don't feel too terrible about it. This is a real red, although it's coming out kind of orangey on the camera, I noticed, but it's very much a brilliant red. Maybe, no, it still looks way too orange compared to what it is. But this is a unicorn tail. I don't know how many yards you get, these unicorn tails, but they were on 25% off at Espatrico, so I thought it was worth it. Blood Runs Cold is the name of the colorway. So it's Tosh Merino Light. It's a superwash merino wool, and yeah, so it's superwash, which is not my favorite thing, but that's okay. And it doesn't have any nylon, but that doesn't matter either because I'm not going to be putting that in the foot. It'll be in the cuff or the top of the sock, so it should be okay. And this merino yak yarn, oh my god, I've been thinking about making a pair of socks in this for a while because a friend of mine is knitting a pair in this, and they're just so nice, so soft. I've never knit with yak yarn before. This is 58% wool and it's only 14% yak, and 28% polyamide, which is, I guess, something like nylon. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's something to keep it stronger. And this is a Regia Schockenmeyer yarn, merino yak. So, yeah, even though it's only 14% yak, it's a really luscious yarn. Okay, well, I think that's kind of it for now for today's episode. And yeah, I hope you've got some inspiration in amongst all these things for your next project. And please let me know if that's the case. If anything has made you think, oh, I have to knit that, or I have to knit something like that, because that's what this is all about, is helping each other have a little inspiration. And also, I just want you all to know that I'm thinking about you, and I hope you're all healthy, and that you won't get this terrible virus, and that this will all blow over and we'll get back to normal. I hope and I pray. Well, I don't pray because I don't really do that, but I definitely hope. And I'm thinking about all of you, and with all kinds of good wishes. So we'll see you next time. And I'm going to end with a little video that my family recorded this last week in a remote way, because it was my daughter's idea, and she lives in London in the UK, and she's a singer, so she got to come up with the idea of us all singing parts to this song, and she would put it together. And if you haven't seen it already on Facebook, then you should check it out. I'll put it at the end of the video, okay, for your enjoyment. Take it easy, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Take it easy. Bye. Happy knitting.
There's a world where I can go and tell my secrets to, in my room, in my room, in my room. In this world I lock out all my worries and my fears, in my room, in my room, in my room. Do my dreaming and my scheming, lie awake and pray. Do my crying and my sighing, laugh at yesterday. Now it's dark and